chapter 4 conclusion. I think the whole chapter 4 starts with God made Cain and Abel start to have a conflict between each other, and after that Cain killed Abel. Then Cain started his own tribe. Then the ending is the second generation of Adam, his son Seth. That starts that time people start to invoke God's name. Through this chapter, I think that's what I start to thinking. Firstly, I sense God doesn't really like the ways of Abel, the wisdom fruit within the Abel start to develop, because it's too smart for his own good. Even Abel, his giving is the meat, the oil, the fat, those things. God love it. Yeah, indeed, everybody love some kind. They have own leisure, but the behavior behind that, Abel used his his wisdom towards killing, towards blood, and towards flattening God too much. I would say like he's too smart for his own good. Eventually, these kind of wisdom, these kind of trends will lead to a very bloody culture. It will ruin the balance, ruin the everything. So that's what I think. God has to stop the gene or stop the development. Even Cain, his development is kind of like use the ground things to give to God, but that's within the expectation or within a normal trend. So humans supposed to do those inductively, gradually improvement. You can't jump. Secondly, does it matter Cain kills Abel? Not really. It just for God just test sample 1, test sample 2. So Cain and his descendants was blessed, and God sent helps to them. So just remember, God, his judgment, his judgment regarding the crime or sin may not seem like our human. Another thing is I just noticed very important about the invoke the name. I think calling has a power, and faith has power, and there is some kind of energy to support or to make those gods heaven existence or make their energies. It's kind of like the more you call them, the stronger your faith. So it's kind of the faith is more like the quality of power you gave to them, and the number of a calling, number of a believer is more like the amount of energy you send to them. So I think God, when they need those kind of energy, those kind of spiritual things to survive, to yeah, that's what I think. I also notice heavens, between heavens, they are not just one operating under one mind, one holy will. They have a different opinion. They have own different goals. So Earth is a testing ground for all kinds heavens. That explains the ancient time. We have a different God, different culture. We have a different worship, but those worships, they have the similarity. For example, those gods, they have halos. Those gods, they were from the sky, and some indicates some like Aztec, they indicates gods use a stone. Some indicates gods use a huge temple. Some God indicates gods can use the ground, a lot of make a pyramid, whatever. I think that indicates back that time, heaven creatures, firstly, their physical size is big, because it's a universal rule. Most likely you need a size, certain size, and if you want a certain power, certain strength. Also, I think the gods, they are not like use their like a physical power. They most likely use their willing power to shape the stones, to moving the object. So that explains why those are like mountains. There are temples at the top of the mountain, but those stones came from 1,000 miles away, or those stones between all the stones really like connects really neat. You even can put the one sheet of paper within it. So it's a lot of things. If you change your mind, switch to that portion, you will see like that era, those gods, they're good at their mind, their mind power, their willing power. Also, they use ground, use a rock, whatever they're good at that parts. Also, I think combine the third chapter, the second chapter, everything, you can see they pay attention to gold. They love gold. They love some kind of agates. They love those certain mines, certain earth products. I think that make them some kind of usage, or it was a popular in that high civilization. So that's the reason at early human development, gold was a favor, but there is no such value for gold to be favored. I think they just, from their memory, they remember those things, those shining things, the ways they got it, and gods love it, and they don't know why, but since gods love it, they value it. Yeah, while reading the chapter 1 to 4, I tried to think during this like a couple thousand years time, right? What's the driving force behind it? What's besides God and the heavens and the humans? So what's really behind it? Probably it's too much to think about, but I still think I like to think. I think from my understanding is more like a free will. I think a free will is the core running force behind everything. Or is should I say? See, good and the evil are two sides, two selection, it looks like it's the two outfit, I rather say two outfit of the universe. And they show up as certain things. But behind it, to run it, or to utilize the good and the evil, the thing is you need a wisdom to control. It's kind of like a knife. Whether you're gonna cut left, cut right, you're gonna chop the meat, or you're gonna chop the people. But for another is internal life. Internal life fruit. That's another like a something, energy or force or a state within the universe, and the universe give. But what's really behind it, I think, is really higher than good and evil, higher than internal life. I rather say internal life is not necessary. Internal life live forever, not necessarily. It's just like longer, much longer. But so something called will, certain things, free will. Rather say free will, because at the beginning, God showed His will to break the abyss, break the darkness, right? Then He used His will to construct a new world. But free will is something, when you have the will to do something, there is other party also have the will to against you or to follow you. So when you need to set the fire, your will you need to chop the tree and you need to set the fire. However, the fire will burn you. So right now those thoughts are very vague, but I think I feel like I get the direction, because when every time I think about the will, think about the curse. Curse is another kind of will against a good will. So, but you need to build the connection, you need to use the energy, you need to give away something to apply the curse. So it's very interesting. I just wonder if someone know better than me about this part can give me some kind of suggestion, or yeah, so it's very interesting. Just after this full chapter, I feel that's kind of the lights starts kind of blink, starts shining. After read chapter 1 through chapter 4, I realize there is something higher than willing power. These things, I rather call it free will. Free will probably is the highest or the mysterious force in the universe. It generates vectors, it generates uncertainty, it creates all kinds of new directions, it opens all doors. So nobody can involve it. Nobody can just put the hand on it. You have to let the free will do the own job. So that's, I see the trail when God, at the very far beginning, He gave the command that told Adam not to eat something, not to do something. It's He involved the free will. Also, when He start to punish them, start to ask Cain to kill the Abel, try to use certain way, guide the Cain to kill the Abel. It's also bring himself into this. He involved the free will. So basically, when you put the hand on it, you have to take the consequence. It's karma. So I think high civilization or heavens or gods, usually they try to get involved with, they try to get something, reach their goal, their direction. They use indication, or they use a hint, use all kinds of like indirect method. They won't tell you just do this, do that, because it directly involved with the free will. Yeah, they will not go to the detail. They will just give a general direction. That's, I believe, everyone in this universe has to respect the free will, that parts. Free will is not sin. Free will is the force within this universe to run the universe, to make the universe full of life, full of colorful, and full of energy, full of interesting things. So that kind of force, I still think it's beyond the heavens, beyond the God. Those gods, they can control, they understand, but they obviously they have more understanding of it, so they will try to use indirect ways to kind of play with the free will. That's what I feel. Yeah. How to apply your will? Think in the Bible, it's clearly God use words, right? And the words showed up as a frequency. So the will usually come with frequency. Then what will compromise the frequency, jam the frequency? Another frequency, some kind of different frequency. So I think free will is some kind of unknown frequency, or some kind of, or rather say, quantum tangling. It's just beyond, it's higher than we usually talk about the critical things in life. People talk about the fate, the feng shui, the what you look like, palm reading, or your from your birth, from your fortune you inherited, those things. It's just when we try to use those kind of coordination things, try to find where we are, try to do guide us. Actually, it just it's very, I would say, very short-sighted, because within the big system, under the universal, the free will, all those things are really like meaningless. But we still try to do it anyway. Another thing is I thought about is maybe even we say something, but does not necessarily mean something. The reason is because when we were a child, we say something, we mean something. But when we start to grow, we put the liar, put the thinking, put the hesitation, put all those things behind our minds. So we say something, not necessarily mean something. So our energy, our frequency is not that pure anymore. So also another thing is that words, maybe it's not that, doesn't mean really we want it. So maybe we should practice the way of talking, maybe through chanting, through meditation. Well, I think like both of them just strong the brain alpha wave to make it kind of like an alpha wave, straight wave. But it takes energy to maintain it, takes time to practice it. So it's another will. When you want something to make a strong wave, alpha wave, you will go through something very messy thinking. You try to go sleep well, you will like flip back forth on the bed. So something opposite will happen. Anyway, I think all those thoughts, just after read the 4 chapters, all those thoughts like flies right now.